been holding the 13th press conference to brief you about the coronavirus situation and the prevention and control situation in our province. Today, we have invited with us the Deputy Mayor of Uyghur, Mr. Song Yajun, the CDC Provincial Center Director Li Baoming, and from the City Public Security Bureau, Mulati Abdur, to brief you about the general situation. First of all, let's invite the Deputy Mayor of Urumqi, Mr. Song, to brief us about the updates of coronavirus in Urumqi. Dear media friends, good afternoon. Now, please allow me to brief you the coronavirus updates in our city. On July the 29th, we have reported confirmed cases amounting to 96, including 8 that used to be asymptomatic carriers. And the newly added confirmed asymptomatic carriers stood at 18, and 4 have been cured and discharged from the hospital. As to the dangerous and severe cases, we have 5 of them, and 2 have been transferred to normal cases from the severe cases. Now, in our city, we have a total of 412 confirmed cases, and up until July the 29th, the cumulative discharged cases were 6, and 4 cases have been cancelled the medical observation who used to be asymptomatic carriers. Thank you, Mr. Song Yajun, the Deputy Mayor of Urumqi, for your updates. Now, let's give the floor to our reporters. And before you raise the question, please identify yourself. From CMG, my question is, during the coronavirus period, what about the management measures of the visitors to Xinjiang? And for the residents in Urumqi, after they return back from elsewhere, can they directly go back to their community? Thank you for your question from CMG. And we will invite Deputy Mayor of Urumqi, Mr. Song Yajun, to take this question. According to the spirits of the State Council and the arrangements of the autonomous region, and to better manage the population flow, on July the 28th, the Urumqi headquarters has detailized and readjusted the management measures of the people living in Urumqi. For the visitors coming to Urumqi, we will prevent the dissemination from inside and the imported cases from elsewhere. We have checked all of those visitors coming to Urumqi in the recent 14 days, and also the nucleic acid testing results in the recent 7 days. And according to the actual situation in everywhere in China, we have classified the population for more precise management. For those visitors coming from high-risk areas, after 14 days of collective medical observation, they can enter Urumqi. If they come from medium-risk areas, if they have the reports with them, and the QR code from the integrated quarantine website, and the Xinjiang local QR code, and the green code from low-risk areas, they can enter the city. And they also have to take with them the negative nucleic acid results taken in the past 7 days. For the people from the other places coming to Urumqi, they must take the green code, and from the e-governance integrated platform, they must get a normal result of the QR code and also the green code. they also have to take the negative nucleic acid testing result in the past 7 days. And secondly, for those people living in Urumqi, since July the 14th, if they have stayed in Urumqi for 14 days, if they need to return back to their hometown elsewhere, they must take the Xinjiang Health Code and Urumqi Travel Code, the low-risk green code, and the negative nucleic acid testing result in the past 7 days, and negative testing result of antibody. And for the locals in Urumqi, they will not be allowed to leave Urumqi if not necessary. And for those people living in Urumqi, they must apply for their residence or community or hotels. After reviewing all of those documents, the community management teams will give approval. For all of those coronavirus prevention and control headquarters and the Transportation Bureau will arrange those leavers to guarantee that they can commute to the airport for free with their support, or to the railway station. And in the railway station or on the roads, there will be some checkpoints to check the nucleic acid testing result and antibody testing result and their health code. And these checkpoints will also take registry of their physical conditions like their body temperature or fever for the passage. And thirdly, about the Urumqi locals returning back to Urumqi. For the locals in Urumqi, if they return from medium risky areas or low risky areas, they must carry with them the health code and nucleic acid testing results. And they must get in contact with their community beforehand. So with the informed situation, they can smoothly get back to their home. If they take airplanes or the trains to return to Urumqi after arriving at the terminal of the airport or the railway station, the staff members in our city will check their QR code of their health code and their nucleic acid testing results. If there is no abnormality, they will take the public transportation to return to their neighborhood, and the neighborhood will do another round of review for their entry into their home. If they drive on the roads to return to Urumqi, there will be some checkpoints of the nucleic acid testing and the health code. If there is no abnormality with confirmation, we will arrange staff members to guide them back to their neighborhood. It is notable that after entering their neighborhood, they must strictly conform to the lockdown measures in those neighborhoods in Urumqi. Thank you. Thank you, Deputy Mayor of Urumqi, Mr. Song Yajun, to answer the question from CMG. Now let's continue the Q&A. From Xinjiang Daily New Media Center. Tomorrow is going to be the local festival. So is there any unique measure to guarantee the safety in such a festival season? Thank you for your question about the guarantee measures of material supply in such a festival season. Let's also give the question to Mr. Song Yajun. To guarantee the supply for the Korban festival, when we are carrying out the routine coronavirus prevention and control measures, we will also organize the supply for the festival. First of all, we will step up the slaughtering ratio during this festival. During the festival, every day we will slaughter like 1,700 sheep and cow. That's 50% more than usual. For the slaughtering number in households, they come up to 33,000. That's 30% up from previous year. And also, secondly, we will have a city level supply mechanism. We will supply sheep and cow for 15 days in a row. We will supply fresh meat, for example, 200 tons of lamb and 150 tons of beef for the market. And thirdly, intensify the production of vegetables in the city. We will guarantee that on a daily basis there will be 40 different varieties of vegetables to be on the markets at the weight of 1,700 tons per day to enrich the baskets of our citizens. Fourthly, for the grains, eggs, and oil, we will also step up the supply. During the Korban festival, we can supply 260 tons of milk, 120 tons of eggs. Fifthly, for the guided pricing of vegetables and meat, we have covered 451 neighborhoods. We have a cap limits of the price with a subsidy from the government. We will also have a wholesale price on the market with our subsidies for the price difference. For the shops selling vegetables, they will all take the government guided price as their sales price. For the price difference compared to the market price, the government will offer subsidies. Now, on the wholesale market, the whole city has a sufficient supply of vegetables. For 60 different types of vegetables, their wholesale price has returned back to the price level before the coronavirus. Since July the 24th, the retail price of meat is set at the government guided price on July the 14th, and the subsidies for meat from the government amounted to 20 million RMB yuan. Sixthly, we will smooth the way of distribution with logistics management, the optimization of the retail section, and we take the unit of the neighborhood so that the direct sales point in the neighborhood will be the main suppliers. For the small vegetable shops and convenient shops, they will be also the key players. When they conform to the prevention and control measures, they will be demand-driven in procurement and sales, and there will be shop owners' direct transportation so that there will be no risk of vegetable and meat transportation. Those are the necessities for the citizens in those neighborhoods. Seventhly, we will strengthen the monitoring of vegetable and meat supply and the grain and oil supply. With our distribution, we will guarantee that there will be no foul of the prevention and control measures during the distribution channel. We will crack down upon the speculation behaviors to guarantee the price stabilization during the festival. So hereby, we call upon all our citizens to abide by the prevention and control measures in your neighborhoods. Through the webinars, we will send our best wishes to friends and families. So with our actions, we will fight this battle of coronavirus prevention. Thank you. Thank you, Deputy Mayor Mr. Song Yajing, for your answer to the question from Xinjiang Daily. Now, next question. From Urumqi Evening. I'm wondering that during the prevention and control period, what about the disinfection measures in our homes, particularly the lavatories? Thank you for your question, and we will invite the CDC Provincial Center, Madam Ray, to take the question. For now, the dissemination channels of coronavirus is through the saliva in our respiratory system and the contact channel. If in your home there is no confirmed case of coronavirus or asymptomatic case or close contact, you don't need special disinfection in your washroom. You only need to do good sanitation work, and the disinfection measures in your home should follow the following. Firstly, there must be good ventilation in the washroom. Every day there should be 3 times of good ventilation lasting for 30 minutes per time. Secondly, the washroom in the households should be clean and tidy. We must take out the garbage instantly, and there must be no water on the floor. And thirdly, wash your hands frequently. There must be some disinfection fluids in the washroom. You must dry your hands after washing them. Fourthly, during the period, if you do need to disinfect your washroom, you should prioritize the surface that may be frequently touched. For example, the doorknobs, and you could use the disinfection fluids for disinfectants. And also, fifthly, you must keep all of those towels dry and clean. And sixthly, clean the ground drain frequently. It is a vulnerable place to virus. And you could disinfect the floor drain frequently. I have to remind you that the disinfectants are stimulating, so you should not do it frequently. And when you're doing the disinfection, please wear protective hat and gloves and protect your eyes. After the disinfection, you must use the running water for another round of wrapping to avoid any damage to the surfaces of the objects. And I have to say that the 84 disinfectant must be diluted before usage. And here, I also want to warn our citizens that the chloride-contained disinfectant sent out by the government must be used according to the notifications. You could not take it orally. Thank you, Madame Ray, for your answer. To the question from Urumqi Evening. Last question, please. Thank you. From news agency. We noticed that recently on the website there have been some sabotaging cases of prevention and control measures. Could you offer more updates? Thank you. The question from news agency. We will give the question to the expert from Public Security Bureau, Abdul. According to the Infectious Disease Prevention and Control Law and the other laws and regulations, and the measures on cracking down upon those illegal behaviors during epidemic control and prevention period. In the special time, every citizen should voluntarily abide by the laws and regulations and the requirements of epidemic control and prevention. According to the requirements of prevention and control measures, we must act voluntarily, for example, wearing facial masks, keep social distances, and coordinate with body temperature checks, quarantine, medical observation, and medical treatment. If there is any occurrence of fever, cough, you must immediately report to the neighborhood committee or the village committee for the newest information. If you don't abide by those prevention and control measures, we will take mandatory measures against them. For example, on July the 21st, a citizen named Mr. Zhang has taken lockdown measures in the community. And Mr. Zhang has been taking exercises in the neighborhood against the lockdown measures in the neighborhood. So, since he refused to take facial masks and argued with the staff members, according to the Article 54 of the PRC's law and according to the measures of cracking down upon the illegal behaviors during the epidemic control and prevention period, the Public Security Bureau has given the administrative orders to Mr. Zhang with a penalty of 200 RMB yuan. The epidemic control requires the efforts from all citizens. I hope that all our citizens could voluntarily abide by the regulations of epidemic control and prevention so as to guarantee the health and safety of all citizens. We must take joint efforts to win this battle of epidemic control. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Abdullah from the Public Security Bureau. Dear media friends, ladies and gentlemen, Xinjiang Uygur Autonomous Region People's Government has held this press conference by the Information Office. The Urumqi third press conference has approached its end. I would love to thank the panelists and our media friends for your attendance and also thank the staff members for their support. Thank you.